Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you can hear this, we are live. Give us a second. We're just making sure everything is running copacetically. Hopefully we won't be suffering any crazy technical difficulties, but we're gonna find out. Just give us a moment. We shan't be long. Alright folks, sorry about the slight delay. Thank you for joining us tonight. Tonight we hope to finally finish this game. Man, didn't think the streams would get to 11 episodes. Okay. Just gotta make sure all the buttons are up and running. Who we got with us tonight? Thanks for joining us. Once again, folks, remember, all of the streams are always going to be on the weekend around starting at 7 o'clock and at least for 2 hours.
What are we transmuting this time?
Let's see what we can craft, because I know we're going to be making our way through the crazy part of the castle where everything is freaking gigantic and ridiculously overpowered. Alright.
You have to stop.
Hey, grandson! How you doing? Thanks for joining me today.
Got any targets for me?
Here's what I've turned up on the monsters. Good work. Here's your reward.
Why, Lindsay, thank you so much. We have ourselves a bandit blade. So, folks, how are you feeling today? Everything going well for everybody? No kind of crazy monotony? Hopefully no one has to worry about crazy politics. And why couldn't I join? Well, you know what? My darling grandson, I appreciate you more than you ever do now. Crystal armor. HP max up. Let's see. Today, we hope to finally put a stop and defeat the final vestiges of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. This game has lasted about a month, I'd like to say. But as the old tropish saying goes, all good things must come to an end sometime or other. But we must always take care to remember what it was we played, went through, and have done. There we go. Man, I'm glad physics plays a pivotal role in this game. This dude tried to swing an axe in a very narrow corridor, and his axe got stopped on the ice. I love it. I love it when physics plays a part in game logic. You know what? You may be one of my favorite elements. You're an ice elemental at that, but you're getting on my damn nerves. And of course I have no healing. Not enough money to go buy. Oh wait, there's a monster I've got to beat, and I can't remember which one it was. Otherwise, I can't really progress through the game. So, let's take a look at the shards to make sure I have it first. Gold bullet. Ruinous Rood. Rigadoine. Nope, I don't have it. So, that means... let's use a waystone, go back to the beginning of the castle, and look around a bit more. So, if tonight is the final stream, what kind of game, or what game, would you guys like to see me play? I've had a suggestion for Power Rangers Battle of the Grid, which I don't mind. Guys, you've got to understand. I am an avid Power Rangers fan. Grew up watching it, collecting the action figures and the Megazords. God, was I such a destructive child, because they all went to pieces, even though they came in pieces.
Have a look around.
Oh, you poor little darling.
What would you like to
Selling
buy?
stuff. Okay, we're definitely gonna need high potions.
Is this leisure doing business? Is it? Oh, thank you.
Thank you. And I do enjoy this little girl's accent. She's sweet. If only the demo for my game was longer. What demo? What game is it?
Is this what? Oh, thank you. Is this? Oh, thank you. Is this leisure doing business? Is this what leisure doing business?
Of course.
Oh, what would you like? Oh, what would you like to sell? Is this right? Oh, thank you. Is this leisure doing business? Is this? Oh, thank you.
I'm working on a 2D RPG called Sugar Blade 1 Downfall of Eden. I'm going to look that up. That sounds intriguing.
Is this? Here you are.
So,
Is this? Oh, thank
one
you.
thing though is, besides that, there's a YouTube streamer called like Afro Senju, giving props to him. He recently did a demonstration of a Sonic-made fan game that I'm not gonna even joke. That game looks better than a Sonic Team game. And even though it's fan-made, I'd be lying if I didn't say that game wasn't dope. It looks great. So, if anybody is a Sonic fan, like, hardcore, likes going fast, wish they would have ran track back in high school but didn't, or powerlifted, that was the game. Bone toss. And it is a pain. Yeah, seriously, it may be a Sonic fan-made game, but it's stupid dope. Underground Sorcery Lab. I still need to do a lot more exploring of these caves. Ah, Mufasa Bear, how are you, good sir? Thank you for joining us. Are we casting murder and shooting bitches on your game tonight? Oh my, I forgot to check on something. Give me one sec, guys. Alright, that's all set. Ooh, new shard. Mufasa's bear responds with it? Yes. Stoic, easily put, get to the point across. I agree. Oh, speaking of which, I don't know who came up with the song, but I'm gonna use the saying from it anyway. Rumor has it that NetherRealm Studios, the same guys who came up with the Marvel vs. Capcom, Mortal Kombat, I'm sorry, Mortal Kombat franchise is working on a Mortal Kombat vs. Marvel fighting game. I do not know how I feel about this. I'm hoping it's a great joke. Like, from what I understand, you know how Mortal Kombat has its gameplay and its button style. I guess you could say DMC versus Mortal Kombat, but with the way Mortal Kombat's engines, their gameplay engines and everything work right now, it might be like their new Mortal Kombat 11 game, their latest, or it could even be something like Injustice. But I don't necessarily know how I feel about it, the prospects of it, because so Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe wasn't bad at all as a game. I did not mind it as a game. It was just the buttons for me were blocky and a little on the unresponsive side at times, not at best. But the thing is, for me, when it comes to gameplay like that, I'm so used to Marvel vs. Capcom-esque games that fast pace with Marvel characters was just a bit of my niche. I was so used to it. I was so used to everything happening right. I need the portal power for that. So I was used to everything happening so quick and so fast that the match could literally be over within minutes or seconds, while in Mortal Kombat-esque games, it could at least take a good 2 to 3 minutes for a fight to be over, or at least that's how it felt. While, mind you, the character roster for Mortal Kombat always impressed me. My main character that I would play in Mortal Kombat for example, was Sub-Zero until I found a character in the game that gave me some kind of intrigue. Like in Mortal Kombat 11, I'm intrigued by Rain, and I know he is based on the artist formerly known as Prince. Let's save the game real quick, because I get the feeling I'm about to die. And I know he's literally a play on everything Prince, which I don't have a problem with at all. So when it comes to like aesthetics and attributable likings of characters in certain games, I like things such as water and ice, hydrokinesis, cryokinesis, or cryomancy. So that was a pretty dope thing on my end of the board. So when you see characters like Katara from Aang, from Avatar, or Avatar's franchise in general, it was always dope to me. I got along with it. I was so tired and bored of all the protagonists of just about anything being a firebender.
I have you now.
And now we're in a cutscene dealing with Zangetsu and the great demon Gremory. Guys, this might be the end of the game for the night. I know we're getting close.
Fool, you just made your last mistake.
Good luck, Miriam.
Oh, right. I know what I have to use on this chick, on this demon. And I missed a cutscene. I am so sorry, you guys. So I may just die purposely. Oh great, now I gotta deal with the phases of the moon. But like I was saying, when it comes to Mortal Kombat versus DC, I don't know. As a matter of fact, that might even be an interesting concept. Oh right, I gotta kill Gremory for that power. Oh great. Yep, this is gonna be one of those nights.
Next time, obey.
Okay, so we're probably not necessarily strong enough to take on Gremory just yet. So what we're going to do is figure something out. And you know what? I think I just did. I forgot I had the ability to summon a wolf to take damage for me. Talk about the best laid plans. So, let's say if DC and, Mortal Kombat versus the Marvel Universe were to be a thing. What characters would you guys want to see in the said game? Me, if I were to pick, I know I can't be I have to be impartial because the characters I'd want in the game are a bit unfair. But if I was to go to, say, mid-tier capable fighter-like characters, I would first have to say characters probably like Shang-Chi of the Ten Rings.
I have you now. Now, Jakujo.
Fool, you just made your last mistake.
Well. Good luck, Miriam.
You may possess the blade now, but without him to wield it, it poses no real threat to me.
Wrong, demon. Songetsu's wrath and mine are now one. You used Jeeble, and now you will pay!
Wow, okay. So normally, whenever I do any cooking with Miriam, she shows no emotion, no happiness or anything. But if you look at the screen now, she actually looks pissed off. Like, seriously, can you not see the rage in her eyes? It's so funny.
Very amusing, wench. I do not have time for this. But, seeing as I need your crystal, you leave me no choice.
Your wretched plans end here!
Baal, King of Kings, must be summoned. Prepare to be brought in line!
And hello, new viewer. Thanks for joining the stream. Tonight we're playing Bloodstained Ritual of the Night and trying to kill off a demon that likes to blast through the whole entire room. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, I was supposed to... Beast cover. There it is. Really? Can I not be cursed today? But like I was saying, what characters would you guys like to see in a Marvel vs. Mortal Kombat game? Oh, it works! Oh man, it worked! I'm so happy this plan worked. And we're dying. Oh crap! That used through so much mana! Well then heal me, damn it! Really? You did turn around at the last second. Oh, that was so dumb. Ugh. Okay, we get the picture. We now have a better stratagem to deal with that. Okay, so for the record, moon demons are bitches. They just are. They like to cheat. Got moonbeams and all the other crap that goes with them. Not gonna lie, just maybe a little bit salty here. Oh right, I was listing off Marvel characters. So I already said Shang-Chi, and it's because one, his fighting style is reminiscent a little bit of Liu Kang's, which is great. So there may be some camaraderie there. They may get along rather well, which is not bad if you think about it. Then you have, I hate to say it, but he's pretty much the poster boy of Marvel, Captain America. But you know what? They may be smart. They may end up giving us Sam Wilson Captain America instead of Steve Rogers, which in and of itself is not a bad idea. Sam Wilson with the whole Falcon and the Winter Soldier series that came out would be a great idea. But the problem is, how are they going to incorporate Sam's wings into the game itself? They're not just going to let Sam fly all over the place. That would be a little bit too OP. Because there's only really one character who did a whole lot of flying.
You may possess the blade now, but without him to wield it, it poses no real threat to me.
Yeah, we know. We're gonna kill you anyway, you evil fricassee pain in the butt. You know what? Even a little bit of damage is better than no damage at all. Man, I'm so glad this sword is doing so much damage. Oh my god, will you die already? Yes! The angry haggis is dead. We now have Dimension Shift. Basically, we can port anywhere we want. What are the better capabilities to have every once in a while? And just to make sure we don't have to go through that idiotic nonsense again. We're saving the game. Because it'd be just my luck to go through part of the game. Oh right, I also had invert. Really, Axe Demon? So who do I know on stream who also happens to be a geologist, gemologist? Nobody? Ow. How would you like if someone rains on your parade of all the elemental attributes? Yeah, prick. Anyway, now we can go through walls.
Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift!
So, okay, I already mentioned Shang-Chi and Sam Wilson, Captain America. Come up with all the different characters. Wouldn't you want to see someone? There's got to be, like, at least a couple of folks. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we're at the final boss room. Ooh, buddy. So, it has only been half an hour. I don't want to necessarily finish the stream with only a half an hour's content. So let me ask you guys, please, seriously. You want me to go through and kill the final possible boss now? Or would you like to talk more, see some more content of the map? Because looking at some things, I'd say I've only got... Oh, never mind, it says in the left-hand corner. 96% of the entirety of the map done. AG, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't necessarily bad. It did give you something of a compelling, bit of a compelling story, though. And besides, it was NetherRealm and Midway trying to combat or compete with the Marvel vs. Capcom franchise. That's why they gave you the MK versus DC. Guess we're fighting the final boss. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dominique. Also, as I like to call her, Britney Spears of this game.
So even Gremory has failed me. Alfred was afraid of what you could do with the shards, but not I.
Oh, right. So as it turns out, we sold her shards in this game, which inadvertently was a bad idea. I mean, you were gonna sell shards in the game. You needed money. But it kind of makes sense.
Look at you. Is that what you wanted? The crystal?
You betrayed us, Dominique. Oh, don't think me ungrateful.
Don't think me ungrateful.
I have you and Johannes to thank for teaching me the alchemist's lore and how to control the shards. Shards, I might add, which you gave to me of your own will. Your sacrifice has become my strength.
So here is the one common thing in any game that has to do with Castlevania or Castlevania-esque games. You gotta be greedy. You gotta need money because there's always gonna be that one shopkeeper who has so much badass stuff that you've gotta kill monsters, get the remains, sell off the remains, and get stuff to get proper equipment and proper weaponry. Anybody who plays any Resident Evil game knows that. It's just the truth of the case. And in this game, it gets worse. Because if you... And I think it might be an algorithm in the game, it might be a mechanic. Even if you don't necessarily sell Dominique shards, she's still going to get this kind of power. And she's still going to be a pain in the ass, I bet you. Let's see what happens.
Why are you doing this? Because once again, the demons appeared, and once again God stayed silent.
You see, there's a religious joke I can make here, but I'm trying to keep it at least a little PG-13, and I'm not trying to piss off the religious community.
While his servants were slaughtered mercilessly one by one.
That seems to be a repeating theme.
So I began to wonder, what if there is no God?
Wow.
What if the Lord we grovel and pray before is a lie, and our faith draws power from some other nameless, unspeakable thing?
Really?
If so, I wash my hands of it. Because God can rot, I decided to seek a higher power, the power to slay gods.
Do you realize how many people have died as a result?
Wait, I just saw your comment, AG. Kill boss, play new game. Well, hopefully I'll be able to kill her. I still need to go and... okay, I guess I can go to GameStop tomorrow and just pick up a copy, like a hard copy of Battle for the Grid.
They deserve to die, because they were weak, and more will follow until I obtain all I desire.
Yeah, okay, you're a Britney Spears.
This whole mess wasn't enough for you?
If the last summoning had been enough, I wouldn't have had to bring you here.
You're after a more powerful demon. Sheeple's crystal wasn't enough to summon it, so you needed mine instead.
Smart girl. I like that. But your crystal was too clean, too pure. So I made sure you would obtain shards and acclimate yourself to demonic power. Then Gremory could possess you, after the battle with Jebel had worn you down. If Zangetsu hadn't betrayed me...
Doing the right thing isn't a betrayal.
You know what? I never expected to be put in a corner like this. You leave me no choice but to play my final card. I will use my crystal and the Libelo Gaiath to summon Baal, the ultimate demon!
Do you realize what will happen
Fair.
to you?
Do you? You don't. So I'll tell you. There's a reason Jebel survived 10 years ago.
Oh no.
What does he have to do with this?
It was in his blood. An exorcist, like me. Our blood suppressed the crystal corruption and effectively spared his life. And now I have surpassed him. I command the crystal through Enochian script.
And for the record, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who didn't know, Enochian script is the language or font or language of angels and demons.
No demon is too powerful for me to summon, even if I cannot keep it here forever.
But the process is slow, because I can see the summoning isn't complete.
Do you really think you can stop me before then?
Oh yes, I do. You don't understand what power is for. You wield it stupidly, arrogantly, and now you will pay the price.
Oh dear. So we finally getting into it. Okay, Red Brittany. Oh God! This chick hit me. Tis Wraith. Man, she's hitting me with all my spells. And she's pulling a Might Guy. And you know what? I do not like that she's doing this. Vaisca. Okay, listen here, you.
And so all the weak meet their end.
Okay. I guess this is why she came up with the saying, "I'm Brittany, bitch." Wow, nothing? Seriously? Talk about a dead audience. Why is it that all the blondes get the most love? I'm sorry, y'all. It just had to be said. Okay. So, once again, we are talking about characters that can be introduced into the Marvel vs. Mortal Kombat supposed franchise. What do you guys think? I haven't heard a whole lot of ideas as of yet. Oh god, no. But I wouldn't mind hearing people's thoughts. If there is a couple of characters you would love to see in the game, let me know. I'm all for it. Oh, for the talisman. Not gonna do a whole lot. So here's what we're gonna do. I do not have a whole lot of money. Not even the slightest. So I guess we're trying to kill Dominic tonight. Hi guys, thanks for joining the stream. For those of you who are just joining us, we are hopefully finishing off Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Wait, okay, Mufasa Bear, that is a bit of a controversial thing to say. You want a new Marvel vs. Capcom to look like DBZ fighters?
So even Gramarye has
Marvel Combat, get out. You are both in violation.
Look at you. Is that what you wanted? The crystal?
Wait, I can see it now. Hold on, guys, I'm gonna try it. Marvel Combat! I'm sorry. The latest MVC looks garbo. Wait a minute.
Oh,
You're not talking about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, are you?
I have you and Johannes to thank for teaching me the alchemist lore and how to control the shards.
Yup. No.
Shards, I might add.
Okay.
Which you gave to me of your
To
own
be fair,
will. Your
the
sacrifice
design
has
and the
become my
look of
strength.
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite looks great. It looks aesthetically appealing. But if we're going off gameplay capabilities, there are some things and some mechanics that could have been seriously worked on. One, you know what happens when
Why are you
developers
doing
are
this?
rushed.
Because
Everything
once again,
comes
the
out
demons appeared,
too quickly
once
and
again,
too
God
recklessly,
stayed
and
silent.
then you get garbage.
While
They
his
could have
servants
worked
were
on it,
slaughtered
made more,
mercilessly, one by one.
made more with the game itself, took more time, given us more
So I began
characters.
to wonder,
For example,
there is
I
no
know Marvel has regained the rights to a lot of their characters from Fox. We could have seen more X-Men.
What if the Lord we grovel and pray
I mean,
for is
really,
a lie,
more
and our
X-Men.
faith draws power
What's
from
wrong with
some
X-Men
other
characters?
I wash my hands of it.
I mean, if you think about it,
Because God can rot.
everybody
I
misses
decided to
characters
seek a
like
higher power.
Wolverine
The power to
in a Marvel
slay
vs.
gods.
Capcom fighting game. And I'm sorry, even though the guy who who does voice acting for Wolverine and other characters like Spike Spiegel, he's a great voice actor, but he's not the original voice of Wolverine.
Do you realize how many people have died as a result?
If I had to give another character that could be in a Marvel fighting game,
They deserve
I want
to
y'all's
die,
opinion on this.
because
So
they were
please, somebody
weak,
say something in the
and
comments.
more will
What do you
follow
guys think of
until I
Namor the
obtain
Submariner
all
in a
I
Marvel
desire.
fighting game?
This whole mess wasn't enough for you?
And no, yes and no, it's not necessarily
If the
out of
last
my love
summoning
for
had been
Aquaman.
enough, I wouldn't have had to bring you here.
You're after a more powerful demon. Sheeple's crystal wasn't enough to summon it. So you needed mine instead.
Smart girl. I like that. But your crystal
Really,
is
I
too
don't care. I
pure.
needed to look good and play good. Really, Mufasa? Well, okay. One, you need to understand that NetherRealm Studios and Midway, well, it's not Midway anymore, it's NetherRealm. They always have
So
the
I
ability
made
to
sure
make
you would
games look
obtain
aesthetically
shards
pleasing.
and acclimate yourself to demonic power.
Capcom does make their games look aesthetically pleasing, but the
Then Gremory
gameplay
could possess you
engines
after
are
the
what
battle
become a
with
problem.
Jewel had worn you down.
I understand
hadn't
the
betrayed
premise
me.
and the gameplay design of DBZ Fighters, but that auto combo mechanic, I hate auto combos. I love creativity. It's why I love. Well, if they would take a page out of Arc Systems, like how they did with Guilty Gear, all their fighting game mechanics and whatnot,
what?
that would be
I never
freaking
expected
stellar.
to be put in a
Like
corner
a small
this.
page. Keep some of the mechanics from their older games, for example, like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 they did. Mix it a little bit with some of the mechanics from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and something like that. That would be freaking
You
bonkers.
leave me no choice but to play my final card.
Okay, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is a game of genius. Okay, out of when it comes to 2D fighters like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, there really is no breakback comparison to it. All right, now we gotta kill Brittany.
I will use my crystal and the Libelo
The game
to
had
summon
a slew
Bale,
of characters.
the ultimate
If I
demon.
remember correctly, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 had 52 characters. 52! I don't have the ability to look it up now, but I think Marvel vs.
Do you
Capcom 2
realize what will happen to you?
had the biggest fighting game roster
You,
ever.
You don't. So I'll tell you.
If I'm wrong,
There's
someone
a
please
reason
correct me.
Jewel survived 10 years ago.
What does he have to do with this?
It was in
It's
his
literally
blood.
just that.
An exorcist.
I
like
feel
me.
that Capcom,
Our blood
if they were to
suppressed the
bring
crystal
back
corruption
something like
and
that, they
effectively
could do
spared
so much
his
better.
life.
Bring back characters from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Introduce new characters. Hell,
And now I
Mortal
have
Kombat is
surpassed
doing
him.
so
I
well. Their
command the
movie
crystal through a
came
Nokian
out,
script.
and
No demon
I've
is too
heard
powerful for
mixed
me to
stories
summon,
from multiple
even if
sources
I
that
cannot
one,
keep it here
it was a
forever.
horrible game. Two, it was a bad movie. It's just, if you're getting so many mixed signals from people,
Because I
there's
can't
room for more.
If you can stop me before then.
Yo! So, wouldn't it be awesome if Daredevil and what is that blind ninja swordsman from Mortal Kombat's name?
Oh,
Somebody
yes,
tell
I
me.
do. You don't understand what power is for. You wield it stupidly, arrogantly, and now you will pay the...
Yeah. Let's kill it. Let's kill it, man. We got work to do.
Rigastorama.
I'm tired of you pulling a Might Guy on me. Ugh. Seriously! Okay, it's come to my attention that I'm probably not strong enough to fight Dominique yet. So, as I was saying, whoever the blind swordsman is from Mortal Kombat, I would love to see a fight between him and Daredevil. That would be an amazing fight. So that would be something spectacular to see. Another fight. What would happen if Iceman got into a fight with Sub-Zero? I think it would actually have to come down to a battle of fisticuffs. Sorry guys, let me check my alarm real quick. So, a battle of fisticuffs between Iceman and Sub-Zero. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter what Sub-Zero necessarily has, because when it comes down to it, they can fight each other, they can manipulate each other's abilities. So there is a strong possibility that Sub-Zero could possibly win that fight. And the only reason why I say that is because Sub-Zero, also known as Grandmaster Kuai Liang, could do some serious damage. It's just stupidly not fair. So let's go back to the underground sorcery lab and figure some stuff out. Continuing further, you know what character hasn't really been introduced in a fighting game? What if they were to bring Shadowcat, Kitty Pryde, into a fighting game? I feel like that would open up a lot of doors for introduction into fighting game territory. Kenshi! His name was Kenshi! Okay, so, you gotta understand, Daredevil's abilities make him a ridiculously excellent combatant. Boy, Kenshi is a telepath, right? Right? I think he's a telepath? So, looking at things, how would that work out? How would that play out? I mean, one, we already know Spider-Man would be introduced as a character. So, they would just need to introduce or fit his wall sticking, and his web shooters would be as a mechanic. So that annexes that as a problem. We know they're going to put Spider-Man in the game. Well, the question is, which Spider-Man? One good question would be, which Spider-Man would be, and how would they play that out in the story? I feel like Miles Morales would be a great addition to the story. It's just that they're doing so well with him as a character, and I feel like they're developing him very well as a whole. I mean, his video game on the PS4 came out, and it did, from what I understand, PlayStation made a crap ton of killer sales with it. On another note, oh great, I gotta fight this dingus that I always die to. Carpenter's Ruin. I died? And I'm still jumping around like a genius? Okay. I am not strong enough to fight the carpenter yet either. Great. Let's see. We've already gone over Kenshi versus Daredevil. Spider-Man would be a good addition. I say Namor, but nobody has commented against Namor. Like, if we take a look at power scaling, Namor is not overpowered. He's not necessarily as strong as characters, say, Superman. I feel like you could go toe-to-toe with him for a little bit, because, believe it or not, Namor has a ridiculous amount of invulnerability, which makes him freaking stupid as a character in and of itself. Let's see, what else? You've got... Come on, guys. Wolverine versus Baraka. Is that even a fight, though? Is that even a fair fight, AG? Look at Wolverine and look at Baraka. Baraka's got razor-sharp blades, not claws. He's got serrated edges. No, it's not okay. How is... Anybody, help me out here. How is Baraka versus Wolverine a fair fight? I mean, look, okay. Wolverine has damn near millennia, because you know he's ageless, right? Of fighting knowledge and expertise. So he's got that. And he's got a ridiculous healing factor. I am not necessarily going to say they're going to put... Okay, so Kenshi is a Telltale. I'm not necessarily saying the developers of this game would put Wolverine's healing factor in the game as it's almost always on. But the fact of the matter is, Wolverine is a stupid, dangerous combatant who's not afraid of getting his hands dirty with the nitty-gritty of any kind of situation. I mean, that's always been Wolverine's crazy, stupid, strong gimmick. I'm the best there is at what I do. But then again, it also depends on which Wolverine. Are we using Laura, his clone of a daughter? Daken, the son of Wolverine? Or are we going to use the daughter-esque Honey Badger, Wolverine, the second daughter of Wolverine, in the game? And for those of you who don't know, Wolverine did have a biological, legitimate son, Daken, whose claws are very, very different. Instead of having bladed-like claws, he does have spike-like claws that still have the ability to rip and shred, but they're more for impaling his victims. Daken also has what he likes to call pheromonal or hormonal manipulation. In his own way, using pheromones to get people to do what he wants them to do. It's BS. Now, Laura is the exact copy of Wolverine head to toe, except her placement of claws. She even has claws in her feet. So, that's not necessarily a young lady I'd ever want to be in a bedroom or play footsies with in any shape or form of the word. Screw that nonsense. Oh look, it's this idiot again.
Benjamin, seriously.
What replay are you watching, AG?
It wasn't my fault, Miriam, I swear.
Wasn't your fault, dude.
I hope you're ready to live here forever.
Oh, come on! Please, you can't tell me your mind has never wandered. For just one split second, I remember this mystic land called Nippon that I heard about, and...
Farewell, Benjamin.
Wait! Don't leave me here!
If I find you in even one more strange place, foot, skull.
Oh, all right. But could you please help me? Please? Yes? Say yes.
Basically, this dude's an idiot. You've helped him. I've helped him like 3 to 4 times in the game, and he gets wandering and lost. And he finds himself under a bridge of a cavern. Like, how, dude?
Yeah. I'm gonna get it right this time.
You had better get it right this time.
I don't blame her for talking to him like this.
Always knew you cared.
Get out of here!
I like her.
I'm getting. Kisses. Love you, don't change. Mean it. Hope I don't see you again.
Hold on, guys.
I had better make sure he made it back to the village.
Okay. Oh, we got some serious Del Rey meat for saving that for saving that Alpha Maroon. I feel like Winter Soldier in a fighting game again would be great. I love Winter Soldier in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. He is just so ridiculous. Okay, so how do you guys feel about the Vision in a Marvel vs. Capcom fighting game? I don't necessarily know what his mechanics would be in the game. I know he would have a signature headcanon I-beam thing going on, which, all honesty, I wouldn't mind. It's his gimmick. I wouldn't necessarily say he's like Iceman or something like that. Or, not Iceman, Cyclops. Because that's all Cyclops did. Looking at it as a mechanic, he would augment his strength by increasing his density. He would hit harder, you could say.
Oh, Miriam, look who made it home, huh? Well done, eh?
Thank heavens for miracles.
Are they though? Yes, they are. Because you know what? There's one character in the latest Mortal Kombat games I've always hated. My friend, he plays her. He loves the pain. This pain in the butt. Sindel. She is like the biggest keep away spamming prick of a character ever. Adversity ring.
Oh, what is it?
Oh, just a little family heirloom. I think it'll serve you better than me.
Thank you, Benjamin. I appreciate it.
Okay, what's this adversity ring do? Causes status afflictions to increase your power. Screw all of that noise. Yes! I completely agree, AG. Screw Sindel. Screw her through the teeth. She is just one of those stupidly overpowered characters that shouldn't even be. Oh, I'm gonna fight you from across the room by throwing screaming shock bolts at you. Like, really? Can you do anything else? Like, can you do anything else but scream at me? And then, let's say you get close enough to her. Let's say you get in her face that you can fight her. Nope. As soon as you get... Hi, Haldora. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us. Are you at work, dear? Like, as soon as you get close to Sindel, then they surprise you and open up a can of whoop-ass on you for all the stupid crap. I'm sorry, dear. It's a Saturday, and I know you'd rather be home with the family. Well, Wolverine doesn't have any projectiles, to say the least. Wolverine is all about cut, rip them apart, and so on and so forth. Like, he is a close quarters combatant, but it wouldn't necessarily be anything like Marvel vs. Capcom, because Wolverine, the mechanic in Marvel vs. Capcom, is button mash combos, to say the least, that would let characters continue combos and then go into supers. That was really the whole mechanic of Marvel vs. Capcom. To say the least, it wasn't bad. It's not necessarily a bad gimmick, but if NRS, NetherRealm Games, decides, what the... if NRS decides to do a game, they would have to seriously be ingenious and show some serious ingenuity with how they're going to do each character's representation and combos. Like, I feel another character they could use would be the new character they used in that game, Marvel Strike Force. I think her name is Luna Blue. She's an Asian character who's another ice manipulator, but not necessarily on par with characters like Iceman or Sub-Zero. Her cryomancy is so different, it's ridiculously awesome. And if they didn't want to use characters like Namor in the game, they would be successful in using characters such as Wave. And to explain Wave, for those of you who don't know who she is a hydrokinetic character who, if I remember correctly, she's also part Atlantean, because she has pretty much a similar physiology to Namor. But she is very strong, not necessarily as strong, and she does not have his signature ability to fly with wings on his ankles, which I know some people would be adverse to that, but it was a good thing. I felt like it was a pretty awesome thing that Namor had. It's what really made Namor stand out was his ability to fly. They released it in the 80s, and it was just something very dope for me. Now, when it comes to characters like Namor, a lot of people don't know this, but one of his abilities is electricity generation. I guess you could say, as one of Marvel's first introduced mutants, and like, I want to say he was introduced in the early 80s, late 70s. He is a very unroundabout character. It's a fighting game, so not everybody really cares about character personality. Namor does. Namor the Submariner, it's just they don't really use that's not a power they really stress upon in the comics. there, you would actually have to see his electricity generation. You would actually need to go back to a very old arcade game where you had Spider-Man, Namor. Look, okay, that is ridiculous. Winter Soldier versus Jason, or oh no, you said Jax. Okay, that. Okay, I need some Mufasa Bear. If you're still here, I need you to comment on that. Do you think that would be an interesting fight? Winter Soldier versus Jax? I don't know how to feel about that. So please guys, if you're listening, comment. I want to hear or read multiple opinions on that. I feel like that would be a very long fight. Because one, we all know which Jax. What do you mean? I know there's like another metal arm cripple fight. How did I know you were just gonna be a jerk with that? That is just so unnecessarily rude. Metal arm cripple fight. Why did you have to go South Park with it? I was actually rooting and thinking of how this fight could turn out. Okay, please explain. How was the power creep in the movie stupid? I don't know. I haven't seen the movie yet. I need to. I need to see the movie. But someone help me understand. Jax would win off rip. I knew you were watching South Park, dude. It's you. I'm not surprised. Like, I know, but here's the thing. Jax never necessarily had super strength. Like, super strength is a whole entire body thing. It's throughout one's entire body. He would just probably have super strength in his arms, where Winter Soldier is inadvertently a super soldier. Okay, we're right now looking at level 46. So we're gonna do this, use another waystone, go back to the village, and make our way to the castle, because there's some parts in the castle that I want to explore. Bucky got that arm ran by a surrogate mother who wasn't even a super soldier. What do you mean? I mean, in the Winter Soldier program, they did give him a version of the super soldier serum that still gave him. It wasn't the same super soldier serum that Captain America got, but he still got one.
So, what'll it be?
Dora Milaje, but mind you, she was trained to be a warrior. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yes, that was... You got... Hey, yo, we know... I know what clip you... We know what clip you're talking about. Or at least I know what clip you're talking about, where, yes, he was completely disarmed by Adora, and I know how funny that is. I'm not surprised, and you just can't. I don't care what anybody says, dude. Nobody can screw with Adora Milaje. I don't care who you are. Nobody can fight Adora Milaje and expect to come out on top.
Ooh, I like it.
So no. I don't care who. I'm gonna sound like an owl when I say this. Who you are. Nobody is fighting a Dora Milaje and expecting to come out on top unless you are damn near Thanos class. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, now that would be an interesting fight. Noob Saibot versus Nightcrawler. So, here's the thing when it comes to Noob Saibot. Or, I mean Nightcrawler. His teleportation may be instantaneous, but it has been stated that when he teleports, he does pass through another dimension. Would be nothing but blinks. You know what? You are not wrong. But here's the thing. In the story, Nightcrawler has died and went to heaven. When he went to heaven, he still had all of his powers and was then reincarnated in heaven as an angel. Y'all stop it. Y'all are laughing about this and it's so horrible because it's so true.
I'll go with this.
It would be nothing but blinks. But you gotta remember, Noob Saibot, or Bihan as we like to call the jerk of a brother, is a demon. So even though it would be nothing but blinks, it would pretty much be a fight between heaven and hell.
I'll go with this.
Man, who cares about how many times Noob Saibot died? You know what would be a dope fight? Shang Tsung versus Doctor Strange.
Dominique.
Who do you think would take it out of that? Since we're going off the beaten path anyway. Somebody? Scorpion versus Ghost Rider. That's not a fight.
You go get him, Miriam.
Okay, so you think Strange would win? Well, yes, Strange would win because he's got a bigger plethora of spells. That's why Doctor Strange would win.
What can I do for you today?
But seriously, Ghost Rider versus Scorpion, that's not a fight. You've got a demon of vengeance or the spirit of vengeance versus a dead guy who wants vengeance. They're both spewing hellfire. They both use distance weapons that can close the distance. Only difference is one is trained in ninjutsu and all sorts of other kinds of combat.
Oh, thank you.
It's not even a fight at that
There
time.
you are.
So, that being the case, if you really want to have a
Is this
firefight, let's go Pyro versus freaking Scorpion. At least we could say Scorpion would win because Pyro can't fight worth crap. But then again, if Scorpion tried using Hellfire against Pyro, Pyro would just laugh, manipulate it, and just probably absorb it. Boy, one fight I want to see happen is Melina versus Psylocke. Quanon Psylocke. Not Betsy Braddock Psylocke, who inadvertently they both have the same powers and in the new continuity they're two separate characters. I want to see Quanon ninja Melina properly.
Is this leisure
And
time business?
you gotta understand, it's because Melina and Psylocke have the same color palette when it comes to power manifestation. They both use a pinkish purple. And I'm sorry, when it comes to pinkish purple, I want Psylocke to beat the brakes off the bitch. Excuse my language. And yes, I use the triple B sentence. It just needs to happen. Melina needs to be put in her place. I understand that is Sindel's daughter, but what am I saying? I hate both. I hate Sindel with another passion. This is so. As I was saying, okay, we've gotten Strange versus Shang Tsung. Let's see. We were talking about Jax versus Winter Soldier. So let's talk about abilities and training. Winter Soldier has been trained by the United States military and Hydra agents. Rain versus Storm. Stop. Did you really just suggest Rain versus Storm? Seriously? Come on, somebody. Okay. One, Rain can make portals out of water. He can summon portals out of water. Okay, fine. Rain is a god. Storm has divinity. She's not necessarily a goddess, but she has divinity. Rain can only manipulate water and electricity. He can't manipulate everything. This isn't a fight at that time. And I swear, AG, you did this on purpose. But that's not a fight. Come on, people. Storm would not lose to Rain.
Dimension shift.
That's
Dimension shift.
if anything, I think they would be best friends.
Dimension shift.
Seriously, that's not a fight. That's a massacre. Who would Venom fight though? Like really? In this case, who would Venom fight? Come on, I'll take anybody. Certainly not Devora. I mean, to be honest, I don't care about Devora. I hate that insect bitch.
So even Gremory has failed.
Yeah, we'll skip it, because we know what you're gonna say, and this chick has got to die. Like...
Do you realize what will happen to you?
It was in his blood. An exorcist, like me.
Yes, we know.
Riga Starama.
Okay, lady. I understand. How is she bodying me right now? So, okay. What is that one? Okay, he's got this like clay arm in Mortal Kombat, and when you start the game with him, I think his name is Geras or something like that. Maybe he could fight Venom. Maybe that would be a thing. Okay, Jade versus Psylocke would be interesting because they respect each other. And the weaponry that Psylocke would summon would be a trip. And to be honest, I was trying to avoid using characters like Storm in this fight anyway, because Storm would be a fight against Cetrion. let's be honest here. Come on, we can do it. We about to beat this wannabe Britney Spears.
No choice.
Well,
Fail.
that's phase 1. Now let's see how I do against phase 2. Because you know when it comes to the final boss fight, they always hit you with, "This ain't even my final form!" Ew. Ew. Oh my god, ew, no. What is this?
Repent.
So wait a minute. Basically what you're saying is, I've got to jump around like an idiot, hope I don't die, let's see. Man, yeah, this is not a fair fight. Like, at all. This is not fair. So, one dude has the head of a cat, one the head of a guy, like something out of Resident Evil on crack and steroids, and one that I can only guess is a lizard. While Britney Spears over there is still firing spells at me. Come on, yo. This is not kosher or fair. I'm just glad that all we have to do, really.
I give you death!
You give me death? Well, you certainly gave me a pain. Look, Fairy, I pulled you out to heal me. Get to it! Oh, great. Now the cat's firing stuff at me. I told you. Cats are demons, y'all. That's all I can tell you. I told you cats were demons. Wait, is it me, or is it getting a little bit more cramped in here? Seriously, it feels like it's getting cramped up in here. You're telling me! Well, okay, Haldora, for the last bit, we've been really talking about who we would like to see in a Mortal Kombat versus Marvel fighting game. Like, what kind of fight would you like to see in that kind of a game? And here's the part where I freaking die. Ugh. You know nothing of Marvel or DC, even without all the movies that, not Marvel, but Mortal Kombat. Marvel versus Mortal Kombat. So with all the movies that exist, all of the cartoons, I'm not saying comic books because I know not everybody reads comic books, but with all of the media when it comes to Marvel or Mortal Kombat that exists, you don't know of any characters, not even Captain America? That's a little hurtful. Well, of course you know Thor. That kind of goes without saying, darling. It's Thor after all. Geez, and I'm still not strong enough to face Britney Spears and hold my own. That's a little on the annoying side. So, continue with the conversation. Who would Johnny Cage fight? Someone just as egotistical and arrogant as himself. Well, I can't say that because he's not as I can't say he's egotistical anymore. He's not much of a Yakov Smirnoff as much. Booster Gold? Okay, hold on. That would be... I know what you did.
Hello, miss.
I know what you're doing, and that's not good. But one, this is supposed to be Marvel versus Mortal Kombat, not with a splash of DC. While Johnny Cage versus Booster Gold would be funny,
What would you like to buy?
that shouldn't be a thing.
Is this here you are?
Like, no. I see what you're doing, and good sir, you're in violation.
Is this here you are? Is this
Because God knows Booster Gold can't fight. You have... Oh, you're horrible. He'd just be throwing skeets everywhere. His little gold robot companion.
Is this... Oh, thank you.
Sir, you're horrible.
Is it here you are?
So, okay. All of Marvel's characters would pummel DC. Okay, so we're gonna... I'm not having that conversation. Because it's not fair. Gambit would be another project... Dude! Gambit would be the perfect counter to Sindel.
Is it... Oh, thank you.
Gambit could easily counter Sindel, and if anything, thank God he's married to Rogue right now, because one, if he wasn't, he'd be trying to freaking flirt with Sindel. And I'm sorry, we just can't have that. We can't have... I'm sorry. Guys, and please, correct me if I'm wrong. Someone comment on this if they feel I'm wrong. Gambit is Marvel's poster boy playboy, who flirts with every female, just like Johnny Cage. Oh my god. That would be the fight. Johnny Cage versus Gambit. That would have to be the fight. Johnny Cage versus Gambit. Sindel can have Black Bolt and Medusa. Sindel would die against Black Bolt. Medusa, that would be an interesting fight, but we can't put Black Bolt in the game. That's too overpowered. Oh yeah, let's have a character who just only has to do is whisper and he kills somebody. And he obliterates them. But I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind Shao Kahn suffering that kind of monstrous death. I'm just saying. That would actually be an interesting way for Shao Kahn to die. But since we're on the mentioning of gods in a game, I know who I would want Thor to fight against. Thor versus Cetrion, or Storm versus Cetrion, since someone wants to put Storm in a game. Shao Kahn is not just a bit of an asshole. Shao Kahn is that asshole, sir. You know this. Raiden versus Thor. Now, So, Deathmatch or Death Battle on YouTube has done Raiden versus Thor. Boy, I would actually like to see an actual Mortal Kombat-esque fight of Raiden versus Thor. Especially in the newest Mortal Kombat game where where Raiden is no longer necessarily a god. But, well, it just depends. I think that would be an intriguing fight. Raiden versus Thor, two thunder gods. To be honest, I feel like Raiden is more of a martial artist combatant, so that necessarily wouldn't be bad. And Thor, even though in the movies and everything, oh god, shut up, Spider-Man versus Devora, no one wants to see that fight at all, okay? Like, seriously, no one wants to see that fight. Like, seriously, who wants to see that fight? Oh, great. No. Devora is a collection of insects. And the carpenter killed me again. Screw that carpenter. Why can't I just gank him already? Boy. No. Spider-Man versus Devora, nobody wants to see that. Especially any version of Spider-Man. Now, Venom versus Devora, I can get behind. Because I really just feel like Venom would eat Devora whole. Now, what about Kotal Khan versus Storm? Then again, Kotal Khan is an Aztec god who uses solar power. So that in and of itself is an intriguing concept. Because Storm, when it comes to solar energy, uses solar winds. So there is prospects for that. That'd be an interesting thought.
What are we transmuting this time?
Let's see. Okay, let's just throw it out there because I know someone is thinking about it. What about Iron Man? Who would Iron Man, Tony Stark, be a good fight for?
I'll go with this.
Anybody?
Great. I'll go
Like,
with this.
I've got nothing. Who would you guys pit
Great.
Tony Stark against?
I'll go with this.
Better yet, who I want to see in a fight, I want to see the great champion, Liu Kang, go up against the Black Panther. Okay, Haldora, you are officially... Get out! You said Batman! Why would you... This is... Guys, like I said, this is supposed to be a Marvel versus Mortal Kombat forum, not DC. And I know you're throwing Batman into that just because I know you feel like you can.
Is this what? There you are.
But I seriously feel like Tony Stark would... But then again, how would Tony Stark play into the game? Would he just be another projectile spammer, float-ish character because of his armor? That is a good question. You know what? No. Like I said, Marvel versus Mortal Kombat. So it then comes down to let's see. Who could we do? Guys, I'm a little stumped. Who? How about you, Mufasa? Who would you like to see in this kind of conflict? Who's not necessarily overpowered, but would actually make sense in a fight? I feel like the characters I've named or pit against each other would make sense, but I feel like there could be more additions. I feel like I've only named maybe like there have only been 6 or 7 Marvel characters named. So I feel like there need to be more. Everyone knows the Mortal Kombat roster. It's self-explanatory. Mortal Kombat has had so many introductions of characters that they can pull from. Marvel, if they were to introduce Marvel characters to Mortal Kombat, there has to be a martial arts background, some kind of martial arts training. Yes, we've already been over this. Fuck Sindel. Screw Sindel horribly. Nobody likes the broad at all. Who could you see? One, if Marvel wants to milk money and like make more money off of it, they would definitely introduce Black Panther into the game. But who would be that iconic battle against Black Panther be? Not necessarily a kingly or royal character, because if they were going to do that, it would be Shao Kahn, Kitana, Sindel, Rain, or someone else of the royal nature from the Mortal Kombat side.
I will use my crit.
But then you also have to look at the point of what would the conflict be between those characters. What would the premise be? Now, Mortal Kombat's storyline has always been one note, because it's always merger of realms. And Kotal Khan versus Black Panther would be very intriguing, simply because one, they have similar principles, similar thought process in the way they like to do things. They put their nation's needs ahead of everything else. Wow, and I had my shield on. Screw you, Brittany. So I feel like there would be some serious conflict there. And if we take time to look at it, Kotal Khan is a magic solar character, while Black Panther uses technology and magic in and of itself. Which, I don't know, that would be one heck of a fight. I would enjoy watching that fight, if I've got to be completely honest.
You leave me no choice.
So then,
Bail, I summon thee to my side.
that would be interesting. But I feel like at the end of the fight, there would be a great mutual respect for each other as monarchish characters. Because before Kitana, Kotal Khan ruled Outworld. Oh god, I'm back to fighting the three-headed beast again. So, moving on, continuing with what we were saying. Okay, kitty cat, stop shooting at me! I'm telling you, cats are demons. Oh look, I'm out of mana. That's what I get.
I give you death!
Really? You hit me on the recoil? You suck. Oh yeah, before I forget, let me mix the shards up. I forgot I was using Vaskia. Okay, so we have considered the Black Panther, we have used the Winter Soldier, but we still have not ended that debate on who would, between Jackson and the Winter Soldier, would win. Seriously?
Delicious.
Uh-huh. You too, kitty. Okay, seriously. Guys, look at the screen. Does it look... It feels like it's getting a little claustrophobic in here. Because it feels like I can't hit anything now. I swear, if these things have 3 separate life counts, I'm gonna be mad. Leave it to Koji Igarashi to be a menacing jerk with his final boss. Come on! I mean, it's the final boss. Final bosses for games are always difficult, but seriously?
Give you death!
Oh man, this is vexing. So, oh my god, it's dead. The game is done, guys. We finally killed Bale, the ultimate demon, and we finally kicked Britney Spears off the ledge like they did in Day of the Spartans. Black Panther versus Katana would work as well. I feel like that would make sense. There is so many prospects for this game. But
she could have done so much good, but
I know.
Okay, yeah, Dominique could have done so much good, but one, she was a vengeful blonde.
Wait.
Or, as we all like to call them, a Karen.
The book that started. What are you going to do with it?
So, looking back on this whole discussion for the night. Wait, Kotal Khan died? I thought he and Jade did the whole eloping thing.
The same thing the Master was trying to do.
I didn't know Kotal Khan died.
Before he died, he inscribed Enochian letters onto each of the castle's structural weaknesses. Now, I will use the book to perform a rite here at the heart of the castle. The rite will activate the Enochian script and send the castle and demons back from whence they came.
So that's what Alfred was trying to accomplish.
We need to begin. Stand back, Miriam.
So seriously, this castle looks like something out of a holy cathedral. Yo, I just realized the model of the castle they took this from. Has anyone ever seen a very old anime movie called Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust? Say so in the comments if you do.
It's over.
Yes. You've made the world right again.
Haldora, I kind of don't, or am not surprised that you don't know about this. You are more of a, live in the present kind of person. You're more up to date with things of the technological aspects, or rural aspects.
Jeebel's fate was already sealed. There was nothing you could have done.
Yes, yes, poor Alucard. Oops, I'm sorry. I mean, poor Jeebel.
And the Master and Zangetsu made their own choices. They fought gladly and proudly for what they believed in. Lives like theirs deserve to be celebrated.
So I gotta actually agree with what Johannes is saying. Lives are meant to be celebrated in the aspect of, because each and every individual in life is unique in their own right. You may find people who share similarities with every other individual, but no two lives are the same. So while we exist upon this planet, everyone should be celebrated. Everyone should be uplifted in their own right. But that's enough of my corny altruisticness that I know people can't stand. So let's continue.
Leave later, after finishing the last of them off.
That reminds me. The Master took note of how I was forestalling your corruption and suggested some improvements. I think I might be able to stop the crystal from overtaking you permanently.
Oh, really?
Really?
Wow, called it.
I can't make any promises, but yes, I think.
Well, thank you, Johannes.
You're very welcome. Come on, let's go home.
All right.
Oh, you like old stuff too? Then name me one song done by Frank Sinatra. Or Nancy Sinatra. Without looking on your phone. Well, guys, this was Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Thank you for being with me through it all. I greatly appreciate it. This has been fun. Thank you so much for just ruining all of this. I hope you enjoyed this enjoyable video. So, Zangetsu was voiced by David Hayter. That was the person who also did Snake from the Metal Gear series. Because it quite literally is Snake, I'm not just kidding. So yes, boots are made for walking. And that's just what they'll do. Yeah. Anyway. I still feel like a Marvel vs. Mortal Kombat game would inadvertently be something very interesting, but I just never really got completely behind the gameplay mechanics of most Mortal Kombat games. Of course you have to hear the song, but that's my point. So I'm done with you, AJ. You're horrible. You're horrible, and you know why. I feel between both franchises, I feel like there is a gigantic list and pool, a list of characters that both franchises can pull from. I feel that, but going back to the Winter Soldier versus Jax, I feel like the Winter Soldier could win. Would win. And that's because of training and combat expertise. I mean, while Jax does have a list of is super strong in his chest and his upper body because of his arms, Super Soldier, while his left arm has a higher broad prospect of super strength, he's still super strong within his body. But that is still something that needs to be explored. Now, Marvel has too many projectile-esque characters. Take all the media that Marvel has planned to release soon, that will probably be most of the main roster, even though they are bound by it. Mortal Kombat will just be whoever Mortal Kombat chooses. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. My thing is, if Marvel decides to go with just the roster that they've shown in media, then that project will fail. And that's because, so far, everyone who would want to see that project would be all the people who played all the games. Even someone who's been a fighting game veteran for years, who's played both genres of the Marvel vs. Capcom series and the Mortal Kombat series, would want a diverse, sizable roster of characters. You would have to look at it in the sense of what one franchise versus the other franchise could bring to the collective table. If you look at Marvel characters as a whole, they have multiple diverse characters ranging from projectile spamming, close quarters combat, even freaking reality manipulation. While Mortal Kombat also has a aspect of the same thing. And yes, I hate to say that I'm going to be using the fire and ice duo from Mortal Kombat. Sub-Zero can manipulate cold and atmospheric pressure, just like Iceman can. There's so many fire manipulators in Marvel, but I only know of the one fire manipulator, or two fire manipulators in Mortal Kombat. And then they introduced this new character named Cole from the movie, and I have no freaking idea who he is or what he does. So there's also that. But as a whole, I think it is a great idea that needs to be expanded upon. But with that being said, between all the fighting game engines and mechanics that exist nowadays, and I mean, for example, you have developers like Arc System. Why does your brain hurt, Haldora? You have Arc System Gameworks, who has done a splendid job on their Dragon Ball Fighters, their Guilty Gears, and games of that nature. You have Capcom, who has all these Mortal Kombat fights with Marvel. Haldora, I get the feeling you never were one for fighting games. You were more for, like, what, first-person shooters and whatnot? Or football and sports? Which is fine. But then you have Capcom, and I feel like they could have done so much more with the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And then you have NetherRealm Studios, which it wasn't necessarily, yeah, I figure it makes sense. Survival and simulation, hunting and whatnot, that makes sense. I get it now. I feel like if Marvel, or if Capcom and NetherRealm Studios were to pool their collective teams of development strategies, they could make the most badass versus fighting game to date. I think it would be awesome if they would take ideas from both engines and both mechanics of, wow, Sith Lord Darth Dravis. Back on track, Sean, back on track. If they were to take both their collective abilities and merge it and find a common ground, it would be awesome. It would be spectacular. Like, all of the fighting game aficionados like Sonic Fox, Sky Thompson. So to explain, everyone who knows fighting games knows who Sonic Fox is. But Sky Thompson, an amazing gentleman who was the biggest, a champion of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I bet even he would like this game if they could get their strategies on straight with it. I don't like competitive games much. I understand. Love Bloodstained forever. Oh, that's adorable. All my love to little Tali. Hopefully you see this by beating the game with me. Oh, this is cute. So, the developers and Koji Igarashi put special messages in this game. I love it. That's fine. Survival and simulation games are very good too. I feel like survival and simulation games and things of that nature help develop a certain skill set for individuals in life as a whole. That's absolutely fine. Ninja biscuits now. Ninja biscuits bursting through the ground. I'm done. But guys, this is going to be a topic. Marvel versus Mortal Kombat is going to be a topic I think I'm going to end up touching on again. Now, if any of you are familiar with different game engines and gaming mechanics, you let me know, and I would love to hear from different opinions, different thought processes. I do think the next game I am going to be streaming is probably going to be Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. So I'm going to take a look into that and see how far I can get. I really do not want the game to go through quickly. I actually want to go through all the stories and cutscenes. Bet if Marvel Kombat game is made, most of Mortal Kombat's roster will be the one from Mortal Kombat versus DC. So I don't know who the Mortal Kombat side was from that game. I only know you basically covered the main 6 characters. I know you had Scorpion, I know you had Sub-Zero, I know you had Liu Kang, and I know you had Raiden. PC all the way. Okay, fine, I understand. You're a PC Master Race lover, Haldora. But seriously, there are always going to be varying opinions. I played on PC a lot too. But that's because there were certain flying games that I could only play on PC when I was a kid. And games like Battletech and things of that nature. No, not right. It's the only thing is it's different opinions. It is an honor to pay tribute to the creator of one of the best games ever made. Huzzah. I can't wait to get my paws on this game. Shiva Bernard. Okay, credits are now getting a little silly. So let's speed through this. Get to the bottom. Okay, screw it. Press start, see what happens. Okay, it goes to fade. Oh, I'm saying right on different opinions. Thank you for correcting me, dear. Alright, guys. We have finished Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. It's been fun. This is Roger, signing off. And I will pick up the stream next weekend. Hopefully, I will have Power Rangers by then. Thank you, guys. You have a wonderful night, okay?